Rakdos burn is hurting for a squirting, and with the arrival of the new Lightning Skelemental, perhaps that squirting has finally come in more ways than one. So what does Lightning Skelemental do? For 3 mana, it is a 6/1 trample haste, and more importantly, when it deals damage to our opponent, they discard 2 cards. So unless our opponent has creature removal ready, they're gonna be discarding 2 cards. That's a pretty good incentive to be Rakdos burn. On top of that, we also have Bump in the Night. It's basically Lava Spike, except better because it can flash back for 6. And then we have the core cards that you'd find in a traditional burn deck: the Goblin Guys, the Monasteries, Grim Lavamancer, 4 Lava Spikes, 4 Bolts, 4 Rift Bolts, 3 Skewer the Critics, 4 Searing Blaze, which, if we play a land that turn, it deals 3 damage to a creature and 3 damage to our opponent. And then we have 4 Eidolons, which whenever a player plays a card that costs 3 or less, they take 2 damage. But now on the sideboard, we have 2 Collective Brutalities for discarding and life gain, and also creature removal. Then there's 3 Ravenous Trap for graveyard hate, 1 extra Grim Lavamancer for creature hate. For more creature hate, we have Searing Blood, which deals 2 damage to creature and 3 damage to the opponent. Then against life gain, we have Skullcrack, and against artifacts, we have Smash the Smithereens. That's the deck. Let's get to the gameplay. But first, big boy announcement, because Daddy is finally making and selling his own deck boxes and dice. Hooray! And because I'm so humble, I didn't put my name on it. Instead, we're going with Deck Nut, which is much more appropriate as long as you don't overthink the name. So if you're interested, you can check out the website after this video, but first, we got a video to watch because here's the gameplay, and I hope you enjoy. Opening hand, we can turn 1, 2, 3, yeah, we'll keep mountain, okay. Swing for 1, they take it just like mommy, and then back to them. Another mountain. Looks like it's mono red prison, and ooh, nice. So assuming they don't play in the Snaring Bridge next turn, we'll throw down Eidolon and then pass back. Anger of the Gods, okay. At least their butt cheeks will be spread open for next turn. So play the Skelemental and swing for 6. Dang, look at that. Oh, and they did have Ensnaring Bridge. Let's see if they can recover from that. Well, they play Chandra, that's pretty good. We'll try to ignore it. Okay, we can put them down to 2 this turn. So I think the best move here: bump, skewer, suspend, rift for next turn. And if they play a chalice here, that will not be good. But it looks like we've got it. So deal 3 there, and then bump in the night. Pretty good start. Going in game 2, I'm gonna swap the Searing Blaze for the Searing Bloods because all of their creatures are little. And we're also gonna dump this for this stuff. And with that, let's go to game 2. Opening hand, this seems acceptable, so we'll keep it. Will we see a turn 1 chalice? No. Okay. And nice. So we shall start with Goblin Guide, and even if they turn 2 chalice, nothing in our hand costs 1. So we be chilling. And ooh, Dragon's Claw. Okay. So in that case, we'll swing for 2, play the Eidolon, and then back to our opponent. Oh, and a Slag Storm. Okie dokie. But then back in our turn, we can do these. Swing for 6. They discard 2. And a Braden Chandra. So they're probably short on lands down to 1 card. Dang, look at that. If that is not Mood Grande, then I don't know what is. Oh, and they pass back. Oh, it's too much. Oh, such perfection. The cheeks have never been spread so wide. What shall they do? Oh, not in Searing Blood. Oh, this made me very happy in pawns. We could Searing Blood them, but even better, let's drop Lightning Skelemental, and they concede in the face of greatness. That was pretty good. I mean, we kind of got lucky because they tapped out when we played the Skelementals, but that could not have gone smoother. What an amazing start, but now on to the next one. Opening hand, way too many lands. We're gonna mull. Kind of a lot of lands, but we'll have to make it work. Start with the Goblin Guide. Probably Phoenix. And then back on our turn, we'll play Monastery, Bolt, swing for 4. They get 11 back to them. Oh, and Storm. Best move here, we'll go Skewer the Critics, swing for 4. Oh, and they hit a land. That's 2 cards they've drawn because of Goblin Guide. Opponent fires off, slide a hand, and passes back. Bump of the night, yes. We shall fire it. And they concede. Look at this roll. The wind train just has not stopped. Going in the game 2, I bring out 3 Searing Blazes, 2 Skewer the Critic, to put in 2 Brutalities and 3 Ravenous Trap for graveyard hate. And with that, let's go to game 2. Opening hand, as much as I want to keep Lightning Skelemental, we have 4 lands. That ain't gonna cut it. Mull. No lands and Ravenous Trap. Yes, mull. Oh my god! This is trying to hit lands on top. Okay, fine. It's better than nothing. It starts with slide a hand. I'm afraid the spreaders might become the spreaded. Swing for 2, get some given on top. Back to them. Another slide a hand. And they pass back, stuck on 1 land. And look at this turn of events. They have 1 land. Now we have 2 lands. Up from 0. Now we swing for 2. Woohoo! And no land there either. So we shall double Rift Bolt. And then back to them. Too good. Too good. Magic Online just knows there's no point in getting them lands, so they're gonna lose. The grandeness is just too strong. There's the match. Pretty easy. Both matches we kind of got lucky, but if luck wants to present itself, we'll take it. But now on to the next one. Opening hand, no lands, so we're gonna mull. Yeah, okay, we'll keep it. Start with Goblin Guide. Spreading Seas, so it's probably Merfolk. Nope, blue light control. Back on our turn. Let's swing for 2. They pass, sure. And we'll rift, bump, and pass back. Then they turn that into an island, sure. Hit them for 3. And nice, Monastery. Then we bump, swing for 2. And back to them. Ooh, and they shock themselves. Oh, Helix. Alright. Darn, pass back to our opponent. At least we can start using the bump soon. Guardian. And it looks like we're up against the Saheeli deck, which means next turn they might have the infinite win. Searing Blaze. Nope. Back to our opponent. Yep, that will do it. We were just a bit too slow that time. And since they can make infinite of these, we're going to game 2. So going into game 2, I'm dumped the Searing Blaze for this stuff. And with that, let's go to game 2. 4 lands. Meh. We'll mull this. And this is not great, but it's better than nothing, I guess. Start with Goblin Guide. They hit a land. And back to them. Oh, thank God a land. So we shall swing in for 2. Oh, and please path. Oh, Lord Jesus, yes. That means our Skelementals are looking good for next turn. So long as they don't spread us. Hit them down to 9. Pass back. Visions. Come on, tap out. They probably have a bolt or a path. But YOLO, as the kids say. Swing for 6. Oh, what? Oh, it works. And they dump a Visions and a Guardian. All right, then back to them. And if we can hit a bolt next turn, we can go boom, bolt, and double lethal. Timely reinforcements. Okay. So they go to 8. Oh, darn. At least we can discard them for 2 more. And they dump that and that. And the good news is if we hit another land, oh, never mind. We can do bump of the night, but that Helix is quite annoying. There's land, bump, and back to them. They go to 1. It looks like they're snapping back the Helix. Okay. Goblin Guide, might as well play it. Swing for 2. Builder Guardian. They swap, sure. And back to them. They play it. And oh boy. We'll just pass back. They swing for 1. Back on our turn, Rift Bolt. Might as well. They go to 1. Back to them. They swing for 1. Please, just something good. Lava Spike, let's do it. Yay, we got 1. So now it's game 3. Opening hand, we can force this to work, so we'll keep. And let's kick things off with a Rift Bolt. Back to our opponent. Opponent plays the Visions. Back on our turn, Rift them. And then we'll put out Eidolon. Back to our opponent. A path, sure. Opponent passes back. And we have quite a bit of mana, so maybe we just unload on them. Yeah, let's go bump. And then Skewer. And Skewer? Actually, they might have Spell Pierce. Let's hold back for now. Ooh, and Vendilion. That shouldn't be too big of a deal. And they take our Lava Spike, but it gets replaced with a bump in the night. Opponent swings for 3. They Helix us and hit them for 9, putting them down to 1. And back to them. No, that's lame. Life gains for losers. Alright, so go 9. And Eidolon, that could come back to queef in our face, and probably not in the good way. But we'll pass back. Opponent hits us for 3, then bolts us. Well, shoot, because they can bolt us for lethal, putting themselves down to 1. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. That make me sad and pants. But now on to the next one. Opening hand, 1 land, but we do have a Goblin Guide, 2 Eidolons. Yeah, we'll keep it. Is this human? Perhaps. If it is, it's gonna be a tough matchup. Goblin Guide, swing for 2. It is humans. Reflector Mage on top, and back to opponent. Opponent plays a Lieutenant, and passes back. 1 land still. Swing for 2. Mantis Rider. And then might as well set up for Grim Lavamancer if we can hit a fetch next turn. The only bright side here is that we're both stuck on 1 land. Playing another Thalia's Lieutenant, and then passes back. It's the Special Olympics. It's okay, I'm autistic, I can say that. And opponent swings for 3. Alright, back on our turn. At least we can bolt this hoe. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Yep, let's do it. And then we'll see if they want to trade that. Seems like a decent trade. And yeah, they go for it. That's fine. Now back to them. And opponent plays Meddling Mage, aiming Lightning Bolt. Sure. Back on. That's not what we wanted. For now, I'll just play another Goblin Guide. Swing for 4. Please no lands on the top. Yes, Thalia's Lieutenant. They go to 5. Now back to them. It's pretty sad that after 6 turns, neither of us can pull a land. I mean, I don't know. There's a couple things we can do here. We could Lava Spike, but we don't have a way to finish them off. The fact that they have a Horizon Canopy that deals damage to them is big for us. So I think the smart play here is play the Monastery, but no attack. So if we attack with Goblin Guide, they could just hit a land and draw an extra card, and that we don't want. So back to them. And they did hit a land, but they basically have to play a creature here because next turn we Lava Spike them. Reflector Mage, sure. Monastery goes back to hand. That does slow us down. Goblin Guide. We Lava Spike them now. That does shut down that. So we'll Lava Spike, and then back to them. And another Meddling Mage, aiming Lightning Bolt. Oh my god. Whatever, we'll start stacking the board up. Back to them. They sack the Canopy to draw a card, and a Thalia's Lieutenant. Okay. Swinging for 4, but no blocks. And that gives us lethal. Goblin Guide, swing with the team, and we win. Hooray. What a sad game. But now on to sideboarding. Going into game 2, I'm gonna dump the Eidolons because they have Aether Vial, and Aether Vial gets around Eidolon, and we'll bring in 4 Searing Bloods, a Grim Lavamancer, and with that, let's go to game 2. Opening hand, too many lands, we're gonna mull. A lot of lands still, but we'll keep. We'll start with Goblin Guide, swing for 2, and back to them. Oh, I hate that card. Protection from both black and red. Well, that is a problem. We do have Skelemental. That's cool. But in the meantime, what do we do? I guess we gotta drop the Monastery, fire bump of the night, and then swing for 4, but they'll take 2. Yep. And then back to them. And as long as we don't see a Thalia here, the Skelemental's looking really good. Opponent plays Noble Hierarch and a Lieutenant. But now we can play Skelemental. I'm gonna hold back with everything else. Swing for 6. Blocks like that. But they'll still take 4 and discard 2. They discard those 2. Nice. And back to them. Then they draw a card and plays a Phantasmal Image, I'm sure, on the Arc Champion. This is still still gonna be tough here, and I don't think we're gonna get it, because if they can gain 2 life for every creature played, that's a lot of life gain.
2,000 years later.
Not gonna cut it, so we're going to game 3. Going into game 3, I'm gonna roll the dice a bit, since we're on the play and bring back in 3 Eidolon, and hopefully they won't pull Eighth of Vial. And with that, let's go to game 3. Opening hand, 4 lands, and nope. And this will do. Hello, big boys. Daddy from the future. Spoiler alert, we lose. And what do we lose to? Multiple Aryok champions. So that's that. Now let's just move on with our lives. Okay, big boys, time for Daddy's take. 4 years ago, I played Burn religiously, like a ton. And 3 damage then is not the same as 3 damage now. Because back then, unlike now, pretty much every deck was 3 colors like Jund or Abzan. And blue-white control was seen as a deck for people that couldn't afford Jeskai control. So back then with all those 3-colored decks, basically Burn only had to deal 15 damage per game. But now that 2-colored decks are dominant, there are much fewer fetches, and Burn's looking to deal about 20 per game. Burn dealing 15 damage is very doable. Burn dealing 20 damage is, it's a bit slow. So whether Burn is Rakdos or Boros, I think it's good either way. But Burn itself as a whole is kind of living in the shadow of its former self. Although I'm a very big fan of this card, I think it's very gangster. So there's that to be happy about. But that is all for now. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And as always, I hope you have a great day.